Kara spoke first. She covered the facts of the case, one in which she is now our movement's expert. She spoke out against the injustice that is housing Dana Rivers and many other violent men like him with women. Lierre spoke next. Given the date of our demonstration, just one day off from the anniversary of the École Polytechnique massacre, Lierre couldn't help but be reminded of the price women pay for defying men. I spoke after Lierre. I said that what I know to be the truth, this ideology gained popularity on the misguided belief that men that call themselves trans women are the most harmless and vulnerable of all men. We now know that notion is a complete lie. I also encourage women to find the courage and fortitude within themselves to come out and engage in, as Kara puts it, a record of our dissent. Melinda was our last, and in my opinion, most powerful speaker. She closed our time on the steps by reading a list of the names of those murdered by men that identify as trans women or non-binary. This culminated in a moment of silence for those lives. After we completed our speeches and held a moment of silence for the lives ended by men that consider themselves both trans women and non-binary, we descended and crossed a small street, Fallon Street, and down the hill to Lake Merritt Boulevard to hold our banners so we could face the traffic. I'd suggested lining the street because this way we could at least get our message out to drivers passing by. We stood on Lake Merritt Boulevard for maybe half an hour or so. We received a few honks of support, which was great, but the traffic wasn't dense enough to make it worth staying there. One of the participants suggested walking to the promenade at Lake Merritt, which had much more foot traffic. What you may not really be able to see from the video is there's a lake behind us. Naturally, on a morning with a bit of break from recent rain, people would be strolling by. This, of course, created more opportunities to expose those passersby to our message. It was also suggested this was a great place to take photos, especially ones where you could stand with our back to the courthouse, and that might be very nice to have images of us holding our banners with that courthouse in a more distant background. I now know that the name of that promenade is actually Lake Merritt Amphitheater. So we didn't know that detail at the time. As the name suggests, it's an amphitheater, not strictly a promenade. We arrived at the amphitheater and stood presenting our banners just briefly before a woman approached to engage with us on the substance of our demonstration. This bystander is the woman whose exasperated voice you hear in the body cam recording during the attack. She was actually very pro-trans identifying male when she approached. She told us she could agree with us that Dana Rivers is a man, but feared that he may be subject to violence if housed with men. I would have loved to ask her what she thought about the violence he might inflict on female inmates and whether she thought they might be worthy of our protection as well. But I didn't. We weren't there for that. We were there for the silent vigil in that moment. And also, the trans identity supremacists were already approaching. The attack was swift. I didn't see it coming. At least 6, but maybe as many as 12, mostly men, swarmed quickly and efficiently, though they were completely disguised, betraying their awareness of the fact that they are neither stunning nor brave. We could tell they were men. We could easily tell from the proportions of their bodies. One started by pushing an umbrella, I think, into Kara, the purpose of which I'm still not clear on. Another forced a few of us back by riding his motorcycle directly into us. They pelted us with eggs, pies, and forcefully wrestled our banners away. This group of mostly men had clearly taken the time to orchestrate exactly how they would attack. Our women sustained hits to their heads, faces, necks. And I'm pretty strong, but I was sore for an hour or two from having the banner yanked so forcefully out of my arms. As you can hear from the video, the woman bystander that was so pro-trans woman just moments before then was completely beside herself as and after we were attacked. She couldn't have imagined that anyone would swoop in and blitz us so violently for being a group of women merely holding banners. If her reaction is any indication, this strategy could indeed be a very good one.